Hi, welcome to my channel.
Hey, Uncle Kenny! Football! Hey, yeah!
If you're new here, my name is Cedric. I'm an actor, a filmmaker, a screenwriter, and a YouTube reactor. And this is not my first time ever hearing Austin Brown sing. I am, as everyone should be, a home free fan, but I have never heard Austin sing solo. And so while I know that I'm dealing with an extraordinary tenor here, the idea of hearing Austin sing Les Miserables is super exciting to me. I grew up a fan of country music. I've seen the Oak Ridge Boys in concert like 8 times, okay? So I'm a country fan. But if you were to say like, oh, this is, Kenny Chesney singing On My Own, I'd be like, oh, that's okay. Like, no offense to Kenny, I would listen to it, but it's just, I'm intrigued to hear what it sounds like. And so I wanted to check this out, to hear Austin's technical refinement, because obviously he's an incredible singer, but I want to hear how different it is from what I'm used to hearing from him, and also just to kind of solo his voice and be able to explore it as someone who is a tenor, with Valjean being a dream role of mine. I'm intrigued to see just what this experience is like. Before we jump into that, I of course want to say thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you to those patrons who messaged me, and to all of you outside of Patreon who messaged me when my car was recently stolen. Thank you for your prayers and for your calming energies. It was a very frustrating time. The car was recovered pretty quickly, but it's an ongoing thing, and so I appreciate all of your messages of support. Beyond that, messages of support, thank you to those of you who have checked out The Corner's Assistant, in which I play the Corner's Assistant, which is out, at least by the time of recording. The first 2 episodes are out. I've just gotten back from Texas, where I shot a film and just finished shooting a film here in Philadelphia. So I'm thinking that only the first 2 episodes are out, but I know that episodes 3 and 4 are coming. And to those of you who have watched it, who have enjoyed it, who have shared it with people, thank you so much. Series like this are vital. They are the future of the industry. I'm excited to be a part of this one. I love the people that made it. I loved working with them. And your support and you sharing it and you watching it, that's what makes a difference. So thank you. Also, thank you to those of you who have watched the Grounders trailer, to those who have watched Coco, which is a movie that I am in. It's available on Prime and Apple TV and a number of other places, at least here in the US. I'm not sure about internationally, but you can certainly search for it and you might be able to find it. Thank you to those of you who have watched that and anything else that I've ever been in. Thank you for that. And to anyone who want to check it out, I'm directing a play called The Gospel According to Thomas Jefferson, Charles Dickens, and Count Leo Tolstoy at the Bluff City Theater in Hannibal, Missouri. May 11th to 20th. We've got a great cast. I'm really excited to direct it. It's a farcical comedy exploring theology, philosophy, history, life. I can't wait. It's a great play. I'm really excited about it. So if you get the chance to come check it out, you should. It's going to be great. That's all I got. Let's check this out. Austin Brown, Bring Him Home. Oh, if you have never watched any of my videos before, you should know that I do pause the videos. I'm going to talk about vocal technique. I might talk about cinematography. I'm not really sure what I'm getting into with that. So this will probably be more of a vocal technique kind of discussion versus my usual cinematography, editing, production design, acting, etc. Although we might pull some acting into it depending on how much character work he does. If he chooses to just sing it straight as a song rather than Valjean singing it, I respect that. I'm an actor that sings, and so I do the character first. But I think that there are different approaches to songs, so I don't think whatever he does that it's the wrong choice. We'll just see what he does and we'll examine it from there. How's that? Okay, here we go. Austin Brown, Bring Him Home. We're gonna restart this. Boy, that is some technique, huh? Right off the bat. I think he started this in the actual location when they were filming. I think he started this a cappella. You can literally see him listening to himself. But that's all added in post. They added, that kind of keys sound, because then the actual piano comes in when he hits high, when he hits that. Listen to his technique. For example, when he said prayer, he said prayer. So listen to the way that he approaches his vowels during this opening section. It's so pretty. God, God on high. Not high, high. Hear my prayer in my need. It's perfect vowel technique. It's so open. It's so clean. And even on need, there's a little bit of a vocal fry, and you can hear him kind of adjusting on the fly. That's the beauty of live vocals, is watching someone work through that. And he's so good. Wow, what a start. Very short pause, because I know I just paused. It was not, in fact, a short pause. But notice that he's adding the vibrato on a lot of his elongated sections. He's not going, in my need. He's going, in my need. And that's allowing him to crescendo into the next portion. So, need, you have always been there. And it's allowing him to take kind of a more subtle, even though I just emphasize his vowels, he's still kind of understating the vocal of it, so that it's not, God on high. He's not doing that. He's not doing the big opera thing. So he's keeping it true to his own voice, but boy, it's gorgeous, huh? So is his voice. I don't mean to distinguish between the two. Anyway. He is young, he's afraid. Him rest, heaven bless. Nice crescendo. Bring him home. Ooh. Man. So instead of bring him home, first, because he's Austin Brown, he's gonna full voice that because he can and because it's beautiful. I could full voice it when I do it, but it doesn't sound. I'm not Austin Brown. I'm not Austin Brown. So I like to falsetto it because that's what sounds better for my voice. He can do that because he's that good. But notice too how that has to change it. So when I go bring him home, it kind of lets me open up home. It's a much more pointed sound. He's attacking it a little bit more because that's what's helping him, because he's mixing instead of going to head voice. It's allowing him to push that air out and stay on it instead of going flat or sharp, which is super easy to do when you're way up there in that range. So he finds the note, he targets it, and he attacks it. He gets on top of the note and approaches it from on top rather than just trying to go into it. So you can hear him go over the note and onto it, which is beautiful, beautiful mix technique when he's up high in that range. You can see the focus in his eyes. You can also see him living out the story. He is focused on really trying to tell this almost as a prayer, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So let's take it back just a little bit. But again, hearing how he's using these vowels, hearing how he's using his actual mouth position to tell the story for himself is really, really good. He's so good. Bring him
bring him home.
Nice
He's like
nice
the
vibrato there.
son I might have known.
A little bit more power here in the chest voice.
God had granted me a son. The summers die one by one. How soon they
Yeah, one breath, one breath.
die on and on. And
There's the breath.
I am old and will be gone.
A little bit nasal on old to keep it smaller. It's nice. Oh.
Peace, bring him joy. He is young.
So take it back to bring him peace. Notice how he completely changes when he does the bring him. There's a little bit of an accent on each word. Bring him. But then when he gets to peace, peace. It's just straight. It's like the idea of almost shooting off an arrow and just letting it soar. That's how he hits peace. It's very light. It's beautiful. It just floats out.
Bring him peace.
Bring him joy. Joy is a little bit more round. He is young. Is that the part that we're at here? Right?
Joy. He is young.
Young, not young, young.
He is only a boy.
So warm on boy. Okay, here we go.
You can take.
Yeah.
You can give. Let him be. Let him live.
I know where this song's about to go, so let's go back 10 seconds. Listen to how he's using his vibrato to control the tone, to control the color of the timbre of his own voice. He has such a nice, tight vibrato, and it's such a gift to get to hear him use it. He has refined his voice so much. So when he's doing this, he can add it, take it away. You can hear a little bit of that country influence on his voice here, but I'm amazed. I'm sure he's trained extensively. But he's clearly got this operatic tone that he has worked on. And he is pulling it, but then still adding that more straight tone country voice, which makes this a really unique performance to hear from him. So as he's going up here, let's see if he takes it to a more operatic tone, where he kind of takes away some of the more straight tone singing that he's been employing so beautifully and decides to just go pure, classic vocal on it. I'm intrigued to see where he goes, but boy, that vibrato, especially in this section, so tight, so masterfully used.
Let him be.
Right there to correct himself, it's good.
If I die,
Nice.
let me die.
Vocal crack off it, nice.
Bring him home. Bring him home. Bring him
Chills.
home.
Come on. We gotta hear that again. Oh my. It almost sounded like I thought he was in falsetto, and I think he might have been. So his ability to flip between voices there and transition so cleanly. I need to hear it again. Unbelievable. I had that entire ending there covered in chills. It's like a tiny bell has been struck. Beautiful. That's so good! That is beautiful! Wow! I will watch his message on this later, but for the purposes of this reaction, the way that he approached it, within the character of Valjean, of it being a prayer and being about Marius, but you could tell that he brought his own meaning to it as well. He brought his own spirituality to it. And it's a beautiful thing to see someone put their own stamp on a piece of music, honoring all the artists that came before them performing it. But that was genuinely Austin Brown's Bring Him Home. I have never heard him hit a note the way he did that last note. It was one of the best tenor notes I think I've ever heard in my life. It was stunning. Man, he went between like 3 different mixes on that. And that is, I mean, he just knows his passages so well, and he knows how to navigate them. It's like watching magic, you know, and hearing magic. And what a beautiful, humble, quiet, stunning version of that song. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope maybe I taught you something, but if not, I hope you just enjoyed this beautiful performance along with me. Please drink lots of water. Please take care of yourselves. Get lots of sleep. Fix your postures. And until next time, be well.